Alright guys, I'm Chris, welcome to VHP Engines. I think I didn't say it last time, if you don't already fucking know. Okay, so, just talked about B18 cam upgrade for a drop-in cam replacement. Now we're going to talk about a little bit more in generalized cams in general. I don't think this should be too long. It just be like, because people have asked me about what cams are good, right? And it's kind of hard to say like which cams are good. Like, when people are asking me, I don't think people are asking me which brand is good, like which cam's not going to break. I think that people are asking me like which one is the best for power, right? Well, fortunately, you can't fuck around with these. It's easy to tell what's going to be good for power because they have the number of the for cam lift duration, with the specs of the cam. So what you're doing if you're looking for a camshaft replacement is you take your OEM camshaft lift as a baseline, and then you look at the aftermarket cam that you're looking at and see the lift differentiation, differential between the lift between the aftermarket cam and the stock cam, and also duration of a duration of lift, right? So not just how far it opens, but how long it stays open, right? Also, a quick to touch on, right? So it seems like for a drop-in cam replacement where you don't have to upgrade valves, your valve train, like your valve springs, retainers, all that shit, it seems to be like once you're within that like 1 or so millimeter range, you can still safely use your standard valve train. It seems like after that is when the recommendation goes to increase the valve strength, right? Valve spring strength. So at that point, sorry. So it seems like, and this is not like a set rule of thumb. It just seems to be like where I look in for drop-in cams for the different brands, that it seems to be like a 1 millimeter increase, and then when you go up to the next level, that's when they're saying that you need to use the replacement, right? Also, there's another thing too, right? So I think what makes a low-P cam, like like the old V8s and shit, or V8s in general, when you hear that nasty lobe and shit, like it's that is caused because of overlap, right? So the higher the stage the cam goes, there's two things that change, right? One, it makes a lot more power up top, or not. I guess not two. It makes more power up top, and more compression is recommended for that. I guess so that way you continue to make more power up top instead of just making it at the low end. And then the third thing being the overlap duration. Like you'll have longer overlap, and so the longer overlap is really great for high end power, but shit for your idle, right? So when you're looking at cams, you're looking at a cam replacement, you want to look at something that has if you're looking for something that's streetable, you want to look at something that doesn't have a lot of cam overlap. So I guess that's where stage 2 kind of falls in. Stage 2, you don't necessarily need to increase compression, but it's great if you do. But it's better for the street because you don't have it. So I guess the stage 2 would be like if you want to do a mild compression jump, like where you don't necessarily have to use E85 yet, which I would say is like 12.5 and below. So you get your increased rev range. It'll tell you on the stat card for the cam how high it'll make power, like how high you rev this thing to keep making power. Like stage 1 is like rev to 8.2 to 8.5 or something like that, or kind of close to stock, and then like it's 8.5 up for the stage 2, and then I guess 9 to 10,000 for stage 3, or I guess 9 to the moon for stage 3 because there's no limit right there, right? So it's really simple shit. Like you just you want to, those are the things you want to look at. You want to look at how much lift you're getting, how much duration you're getting for an increase, and also that's really pretty much it, because the stages change through how much lift it is, but in general you're still looking at the same lift and duration, right? And if you want to get something that's streetable, you look at how much overlap the cam has. Now, generally speaking, too, in the advertisements or the website of the company or whoever you're going to call, they're going to tell you like, hey, these are something we recommend you driving with on the street, or hey, this is something we recommend for track use only. So I guess it's one of those things that I avoided talking about for really long, but the video was a lot simpler and quicker to make than I imagined. That should be enough to help you scout out cams. I don't have any particular brand I go to except for like when I talked about the Brian Crower as a drop-in cam replacement for B18s, but that's just because of the fact that the cost effectiveness there. I looked at the cheapest cam and I looked at how much the increase of lift was. I didn't really look to compare that to other stage 1 cams from other companies. There might be another stage 1 from another company that squeezes out some more lift. That would be on you to look at, but I know that it's a respectable increase in lift for that cam and a very respectable price. So that covers that there. And I guess one more video to talk about. Probably going to be as short as this one, but just it needs